like I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted by my old lady. So you want to check transmission when it's hot. While it's running, you pull the dipstick out, wipe it, make sure it's in the hot range. If it's not in the hot range, then you need to add some. Now, everybody, there's one thing it says that you can check it when it's cold. So you're gonna have on the tip of this dipstick, it's gonna have a cold meter, cold indicator on the dipstick. It's gonna have cold and it's gonna have hot. So when you got it in the cold, it's supposed to be when the truck is off. Now, I've noticed that it does have it on there, and then when it's running hot, there's nothing on the stick. So I don't trust it. I don't use it. So whenever I check it, if it's too much on there, I disregard it because it just came out the shop. So like perfect example, I'm finna show you right now. The truck is, I hadn't ran the truck since 1 o'clock this morning, or yeah, like 1 o'clock this morning when I got back from my load, and I'm finna check it. So it should be cold, and if it reads right, it should be more than what's on cold. All right, and there you have it. As you can see, it starts way up here, and then it runs all the way down to the bottom. And then, as you can see here, if I can flip it around. All right, there you can see hot. If I can keep it steady. All right, there you can, oh, God damn it. All right. There we go. All right, so from there, you can see hot and you can see cold. All right. So you got the hot right there. So when it's hot, you want it to have between, you see these two hash marks, these two lines right here? Yeah, camera's trying to go out of focus. All right, so you see these two hash marks between cold and hot. You want it to be around that way, around, you know, either in the middle of that or a little bit up towards the hot. When it's not running, they say that you want to have it in cold, but as you can see, it's cold, but it's way up here. That's normal to me. Now, I'm not telling you that it's normal for your truck, because I don't want you tearing your shit up and then you be like, oh yeah, well, Doc said, no, Doc, you know, Doc telling you now, that's for my truck. Because if my truck, if I turn my truck on right now, the mark is going to go down to right there, a little bit above. It's going to be right between it. All right, right between the hot and cold. And that's fine. Because once you cut it on, it sucks all of it into, you know, back into the transmission. So, you know, the fluids are gonna go out. That's why they tell you when you change your oil, when you fill it up, let it run for 30 seconds, let it go through everything, especially if you change your oil filter, and then check it again. And you'll notice wherever it was before you started up, it's not there no more. So now you gotta add more fluid. All right, so that's my truck. So check yours, see what works for you. If it's on the cold meter, when you look at it, and then when you're running it at 150 degrees and there's nothing on the stick, that means that you need more fluid. All right, to at least get it on the stick. Something has to be on that stick. All right, and if you do have a Cummins transmission, like I have, and I'm not just saying, you know, it's not just on Freightliners, but if you have a Cummins transmission, something I learned having a driver that, you know, didn't give a damn about the equipment, I had to go under here and find the serial number. You see that gray block right there? On the passenger side is going to be the serial number for this particular transmission. All right, it's going to be up there at the top right hand, top corner, top part of the transmission. So you got to go on the passenger side right here behind the tire if you can, right behind your fuel tank if you got one installed over there, and get up there on the top and get your serial number. And that serial number will tell you exactly what kind of transmission you have, 2500 series or whatnot. Because if you bought that truck used, you don't know what that truck's been through. You know, you don't know what's been changed out. You don't know what's been added. So it's best just not to assume, just go ahead and check. So I checked to make sure, because if you got an Allison transmission, if you know anything about Allison transmissions, you can't put just any transmission fluid in there. I think it's Tri-Sync or something like that. But that's the transmission fluid that people normally use, but that they recommend for Allison transmissions. However, knowing that, you know, you got people like me that's poor, they can't, you know, find it or order it in bulk, they have this. All right, Mobil Delvic 1. ATF. And as you can see, it says it right there, Allison approved. And it also has that 295 and 468. Those cover series of engine transmission you have, because all of them aren't the same. All right. So once you see that, you're good to go. Because oh, and also on another note, this is the engine oil for the Cummins engine. All right. 10W30. I got the got it from. I'm trying to remember which store I went to. It might have been, I don't think it was Walmart. Yeah, it was Walmart. So I got this from Advanced Auto Parts. But I got the last two. And these are expensive. They're like $50-something for 1 gallon. This I got from Walmart. Last bottle. So just one of those days I needed the truck. The guy was not taking care of it. Did a spot check on it. This is my second truck. Did a spot check on it. No oil, no transmission fluid. There was some in there, but it wasn't enough to where I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable with this truck on the road for a couple of days. And, so I had to go out and scramble on a Saturday and find this stuff. So, and as you can see, heavy duty diesel engine oil. You see the little truck on there. So this wasn't too expensive. I can't remember how, but if it didn't make me remember like I did the exact price, then it wasn't too expensive. Probably was normal. And it says it right on the side of the engine that they recommend Shell, Rotella. All right, synthetic blend technology, blah, 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 blah. All right, so that's just that little tidbit on, checking your truck. Of course, you want to check your tires. Make sure you got a lot of meat on them. If you got recaps, try to put your recaps on the outside. Just a little thing a mechanic told me. Put you a good tire on the inside, recap on the outside. Reason being, your recap blow, it's gonna blow on the outside and it won't destroy too much. And then you can go in there and, whoever comes to replace the tire can replace the tire from the outside versus the inside. All right. Your mechanic may tell you something different. Go with your mechanic tell you. Mom told me this. So, but, I ain't got enough for new tires yet. So all amount of recaps, because they still got good tread on them. They got good meat on them, all of them. Of course, with the DOT, you make sure you got to have your mud flaps, make sure they're good service. Go and check your tires for any kind of deflation or anything like that. Check your frame, make sure, none of your bolts and stuff are coming loose, especially checking this thing here, making sure that, these are still good. They're not coming loose. Check your tire pressure. Check your lift gate. Make sure your lift gate works. Make sure that the little switch inside, make sure that nobody can operate it while you're not, while it's disengaged. Keep a lock on it. People will steal your forklift. All right. I don't have one on there now because, earlier I was in there sweeping out my truck. That's another thing. Keep your back cleaned out. Keep your box cleaned out. Sweep it. Put scent in there. Use Chronic Killer, blunt spray, whatever you need to use. I use Chronic Killer and blunt spray. Best smelling stuff ever. All right. Keep the inside of your truck cleaned out. Mine's a mess right now, so I ain't gonna really show you, but keep the slips and stuff, but keep at least your driving area clear. All right. So I ain't went in there and cleaned out yet because I was gone for almost 2 days. So I'm gonna get in there in a minute, but I cleaned the box out first. Had a lady from the airport get on my box. She came to tell me something, but I see she was a little hesitant to get on the truck at first. Then when she did like a pause, she came on the truck. She said, "Oh man, it smells good in here." And I was like, "Oh really?" She's like, "Yeah, most of the trucks I see, they smell horrible, like something dead." And I was like, "Oh, well." I said, "Well, I make sure I clean mine." And all it was, I sprayed some Pina Colada blunt spray, probably like maybe 2 days ago. Just spraying it out, swept it out. A box I ain't never hauled nothing that stinks anyway. I only deal with Amazon and my dispatcher who only moves stuff from customs. So it's always like, machine parts, wood, hardware. And from time to time I'll run for Pepsi or either Coca-Cola. But nothing that'll spill, no liquids, no, food or anything like that. So I never have to worry about that. But anyway, that was, that made me feel nice, even though I never really thought about that. But, that's something I'm just throwing out there. So And plus, when I'm back there sweeping it out and cleaning it out and getting everything arranged, you know, I don't want to be back there smelling ass anyway. So, but anyway, that's my little piece about, you know, just a little quick maintenance on your truck. Oh, and make sure all your lights work. That's the biggest thing. Make sure your lights work. You're not gonna really be able to tell during the broad daylight, but you know, at least at night, go out there and cut your lights on to make sure they work. Especially every single marker on your truck should work. If they don't, you're gonna, you know, it's pretty much you're asking for attention. And I guarantee you the DOT will give you that attention, especially if you're in Georgia. GSP, MCC, D or P or whatever them, all those, you know, all them alphabet boys call, they're gonna give you some attention if you're not in compliance. So, and it's for good reason. So, you know, just respect what they do. You know, they being an ass or a dick to you, you know, don't take it, don't take it to heart. You know, that's just what they do. It is what it is. It's like you walking out there and you run into a tiger. You know, you don't expect the tiger to be nice to you. These guys, some of them are gonna be nice, some of them ain't. All humans are different, so just get ready to deal with that. But make sure you got yourself in order so you don't have to worry about it. Keep your cab card ready with all your information in there. You know, your insurance, registration. Be nice to them, courteous, whatever. And if you got something at fault, you know, you ain't got to really own it. But if they call you on it and y'all both looking at the deficiency, it is what it is. Fix it. You know, even if fix it, take care of it. All right. Don't start backpedaling. Just go ahead and fix it. Because you at that point, you pass, well, it is what it is. At that point, it's just fix it. All right. So sometimes they'll let you slide. Sometimes they'll go ahead and cite you. You know, just depends on that day. Now, me personally, I've never had an issue. Never had a situation. Everything was always good. Whenever the officer asked me, hey, give me never had my logs pulled. They've always asked me for, hey, let me see your registration, let me see your insurance, blah, 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 blah. Gave it to them, pulled out my little folder, flipped through it, document protectors, pulled everything I needed, looked at it. All right, sir, have a good day. And I drove off. That's all he wanted to know. And never asked for a DOT inspection, none of that. So, but, you know, like I said, just stay on your P's and Q's. All right. Any questions, hit me up. Smash, hit, like, subscribe. Well, if you don't, you do. Well, for the most part, live your life, enjoy your life. You only die once, live every day. Peace.